Good morning and welcome to A Few Moments with the Rev. I'm Greg Johnson and I want to welcome you to this very brief conversation that we've begun during the pandemic, where I'm taking specific topics on family caregiving and sharing them in a brief moment with each and every one of you. I want to remind you that if you miss a week, or if there's something that you recall that you heard but you aren't just sure what I said, all of these programs, along with Friday with the Rev and many other works that we have done, are available on the YouTube channel. And the YouTube channel is entitled Family Caregiving with the Rev. Family Caregiving with the Rev. So please take a look, share it. They're all in a format that's very easy to share. If I can do it, anybody can do that. And they're there for you to help, and I'm delighted when you do that sort of thing, because we're sharing the caregiving, and that's what this has been all about. In this pandemic, we have all become caregivers at many different levels. Now, the topics that I am doing presently is a series. It will be 6 in total. We began it last week. The 6 spiritual principles of family caregiving. And last week we talked about the first principle, which is take care of yourself. Before I can care for you, I've got to care for me. And we want to care out of abundance. The second one, which we're going to talk about very briefly this morning, really is found in the name of what we are doing, family caregivers. We are caregivers, not cure givers. And that's an important distinction, for it has a great deal to do with expectations. It has a great deal to do with understanding what our role is, and in helping the care recipient journey through the journey that they are going through. And as I always like to say, growing through the going through. But remember, we are family caregivers, not family cure givers. Now I'm going to read to you, this is all based, by the way, on a wonderful series of the 6 spiritual principles of family caregiving that came to us out of Friends Indeed, that wonderful organization that was begun 26 years ago by the late actor-director Mike Nichols and the wonderful Cynthia O'Neill. The organization itself has ceased, but the work has continued, and the big group continues, and you can find out information just by Googling the big group. There are several opportunities for help, so I urge that to you. But I want to read to you what they have said, and then I will have just a couple of comments. Focus on care, not cure. As a caregiver, it's important to recognize the distinction between healing and curing. In the simplest terms, curing is changing what is, for example, the elimination of disease, while healing implies the ability to relate differently to things as they are. Your role as a caregiver is to deal with things as they are and be clear about the task at hand. So curing is a total change, and we leave that to the medical profession, to the divine, and we are participants in that in prayer and in meditation. But our role is that of a caregiver. Curing, caring. Very important distinctions. Because in caregiving, we are aware of the present situation as it is. We accept that. And then we take action appropriate to the present situation. Yes, we are walking with our loved one. You've heard me talk about often using the symbol of the labyrinth as the journey of the caregiver, whether it's a journey into recovery or a journey of passing on and moving on. In either case, it is back and forth with many new realities. And we, as the family caregiver, need to be present for exactly what is happening. We can be far more useful to the care recipient. The care recipient who may very much be lost in the world of, oh, I gotta get better, I gotta get better. That's our prayer too. But for today, it is a journey into wellness, a journey into wholeness. And today, this is what is happening. Now, it can be a whole range of situations where you have a person with whom you can cognitively dialogue. On the other hand, it may be that someone is in a coma. Does that mean we can't communicate? No. That person who is in a coma is like us, a spiritual being. And in quiet meditation, we can speak soul to soul. It may be just simply saying peace, peace. And one of the things that I have done as a clergy person, but also just personally, when someone is in that sort of a state, I love to rub my hands together. And I do this a lot with meditation. I do this when I'm working with groups. Because where is the strength in our lives? Where is the healing coming from? It's coming from within. From within. In the animal world, it's the tongue. Huh? You see a cat and a dog licking. For us, it's in our hands. And so as you're with that person who may be in a coma, in a deep, deep sleep, we can just let the energy flow as we invoke peace, peace, peace. And it is so. Caring, not curing, is our job. And by grace we can do that. It also keeps us in the moment. We'll be talking about more of that next week. It keeps us in the moment and allows us to work with the care recipient so that they too can be peaceful at the present moment, just the way things are. And also, we will be helping the professional caregivers, the doctors, the nurses, and so forth. Because who knows more about the patient? Most often it's the caregiver. They are the ones who know how they react. They know the whole story. And often the medical professionals don't. And I'm pleased to say that over the years, that's been one of my favorite topics, working at the New York Academy of Medicine and other places, is just to bring together all the pieces of the health care. The care recipient, the professional caregivers, and the family caregivers. So, this week, wherever you are, it's the right place. And whatever you're doing, it's the right thing. Don't second guess yourself. You're coming from a place of love. You are love. And the divine within you is connecting with your loved one. You are a family caregiver. And I say thank you. The two words that family caregivers rarely, if ever, hear. Thank you. And God bless. I'll see you next Monday.